Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, fuck me sideways. Hold the line! Hold the line! Hold the line! You shall not pass!
Something to think about if you throw trash on Texas highways. Somebody up there is going to be watching.
Oh no, you did not shoot that green shit at me!
I have you now.
Watch the birdie!
Must go faster.
Inconceivable!
Say hello to my little friend!
Come out, wherever you are.
Peekaboo!
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! Don't try it!
Armor piercing, loaded!
Special delivery!
Target to...
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Gotcha, bitch!
Hey everybody, you know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntex Live. How's it all going? I hope I'm coming in good. Let me know. I see everything's working on my side, and thankfully everything's working over there because already we have a $10 super chat from MTF Guard.
For the Emperor!
I forgot to turn that up. All right. And he says, just dropping this here. Hopefully it'll work, but won't make it this week. Out with friends. Awesome. Again, since they offered something I couldn't resist. Free pizza, shotguns, and tannerite. What could go wrong? Oh, I could think of plenty of things that could, but maybe something like, oh, I don't know, like this. I'm missing part of that. I'll have to try and re-upload that later. It's actually no shit. That wasn't even a skit. That was just some dog walker. She got yoinked by a bunch of the dogs. I'm like, well, it is what it is. All right. First things first, I need to thank all you absolutely beautiful people for being here. Thank you so much for being here on this kind of rainy Wednesday. The storms are going to be coming in over here. So, being that as it may, you guys know the rule. If the stream drops because of the weather, the stream just drops for the night. I've tried playing that game before, won't do it again. So, I do have to send out some extremely big thank yous to a few super chatters from over the past week. You know who you are, and this one's for you.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
And yeah, it took me a while to get that one, and for some reason, my nose is just all of a sudden itchy all of a sudden. I don't know why. It hasn't been bothering me all day. Oh, you blew up a tree stump. Oh, yeah, that's fun. For anybody who doesn't know what tannerite is, it's a low explosive. Yes, there is such a thing as low explosive, but it activates through pressure. You actually shoot it and it blows up, quite literally. So, being that as it is, we're going to jump right into everything right now and do our quick overview of the past week, starting with, so, what type do you own? And yeah, just like it says on here, if you hear or when they ask what type of ship do you own, leave quickly. And by the way, here's my grape juice, fermented style for everybody. Anyway, god dang it. I swear, the longer I'm here, the less room I have on this fucking desk, which is why I want to move downstairs. Anyway, not much as far as the comment section on this one. Somebody mentioned how it seems like it's based off the bars in Korea. Actually, believe it or not, the inspiration for this was a buddy of mine I talked to like a year ago. And he used to live down in Pattaya in Thailand, or close to it. So when he told me about some of the weird shit that happens around there, I'm like, okay, that's just like the bars around here. What type of car do you drive? And that was as soon as I thought that, boom, this story kind of flew out of my head. Only one person heard the Spaceballs reference in there. What's happening now? And we now have a $5 super chat from the Douglas. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put the bear roar in here. God damn it. And I can't use the demon one in case he shows up. Maybe he's I'm actually yelling.
God f***ing damn it!
Anyways, hopefully, Douglas, you can enjoy this one.
It doesn't trust me right now.
Really? Why not?
Because I got to use a sniper rifle and I ended up unloading a round into her ass.
Hey, chicka bum bum.
Caboose, what did I tell you about that?
Sorry.
And he says, love your story, Sin. Your nose is itchy because you may be drafted by the Orange Coward. They couldn't if they wanted to. It wouldn't be legal. First off, I'm too fucking old. Two, I already did 20 years and I retired, but I didn't retire an officer. They refused to promote me. Once you get to a certain level, like Master Sergeant and above, then maybe they got some pull. But there's no reason why they would actually bring me over. So yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's just, I don't know. It's something about as soon as I start, my nose itches, and I don't know what the hell that's going on. It must be a psychosomatic thing. Either that or I'm going to sneeze really hard eventually. So, like I said, not a lot of comments on this, but apparently folks liked it. We moved straight into humanity's army is not human. It was a bit ambiguous on that. Hold on. About to say the magic word. But you guys got the reference as soon as you got into it. And I'm pretty sure you got it from the thumbnail too. Anyways, a few people got the Good Morning Vietnam reference. I'm glad to hear that. Hey, Deathbed, how you doing? Hey, somebody mentioned how belt-fed is very good. Belt-fed weapons are good for dropping Xenos. Yeah. The more lead you put down range, especially in a target-rich environment, you're right. And, this was a good satire comment, you guys. Oh, no. Don't attack my planet, you big, bad alien, you. Yeah, hold on. Because I said it that way, I got to do this.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Yep, I told you guys I get that one, so I did. All right. Hopefully you guys get a kick out of that and you get the reference from it too. I love that one because it's two different references at the same time. One to a show I like, and two, or I should say a podcast I like, and two to a movie I grew up with. So there was also, and yes, somebody caught it, the Independence Day and the Star Wars references were in there too. So good catch, guys. Very good catch. And unfortunately, there wasn't too much on that. There was a few people asking if this was going to go anywhere. Guys, it really depends on the views. Just like this one, No Good Deed. You notice that No Good Deed, there's no ending to that? Is it no good deed is going to be punished, or no good deed goes unrewarded? You know, it depends on who you talk to. And did you guys get the whole Emerald Moon thing on that? I hope you did. I didn't want to actually put it right in your face. No pun intended. But, you know, I had to try and make a joke on that one, especially when I literally had before I started writing that, I had just finished listening to Wilfred the Goblin Fucker. And that's a funny song, guys. If you haven't listened to it, you should. All right. As far as no good deed, just remember rewards or punishment. Something I don't know if you guys picked up on, but especially you guys who are looking to write, just remember there's always kind of a link in the name. In particular, with that family of aliens that he was talking to, the shell is the family name. However, if you notice that the male name went before the shell and the female name went after. That's how they do it. So if this does continue, that will continue on. Like, I didn't mention who the parents' names were and stuff like that, but if they play a more significant role, they will. So, yeah. But that's the whole thing. You have to design your entire new species around different things. Every different culture is going to be different. Just like over in the East, they put the last name first because they have this insane thing about hereditary. Like, if somebody in your family screwed up, they just assume you're a screw up. I don't know why. The whole hereditary leadership thing is bullshit. I know, because I've actually dealt with the Sergeant Major's kid. That guy was so worthless. It's sickening. All right. Somebody mentioned how his new crewmate is going to be looking up Rule 34. I don't think she's going to look that up all that quickly. However, she might. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And the fact that she's a hornless, you know, that's actually, I took that from a thing with demons, actually. In demon society, your horns dictate your authority, your power, things like that. Just like a gluttonous demon, the horns are actually hang real low, and they actually make the neck look a lot bigger and head look a lot bigger than it is. A succubus demon usually have them very high and straight, but a commanding, like an overall, like the actual demon prince would have them way out to the side. The horns of power, just like it used to be back in the day. That's where they kind of got it. But her being hornless is like somebody walking up with like missing half their jaw or something. It's just, it's major disfigurement. Where was I? Oh, here's one I'm glad you guys got, where they laughed at the guy's first name, Steven. You notice I didn't say exactly what it meant. It could have meant asshole. It could have meant toilet. It could have meant, you know, some sort of, how do I put this? Some sort of penetrative act or something like that. It's crazy. However, if you're going to write something, sometimes less is more. And that was the joke there. That was kind of the point of that one. There was a request for part 2 on this one. I said it depends on the view count. Now, this one actually took off pretty good. Not nearly as well as this one. You broke the rules. And know that they didn't meet me at night. And who is this? Oh, it's Miss. It's Erica with a $10 super chat. And she said, I look like a boiled lobster. I loathe Florida heat and humidity. Well, I can't say too much on that one because I haven't been in that sort of thing in a while. Even though I do plan on, hopefully within the next year or two, I want to go back to Hawaii and visit my buddy Hershey. I really do. Just because, well, it's good to meet your friends. Sorry, I'm trying to write here at the same time as I talk, and sometimes I pause. And writing that down with Erica. All right. Yeah, as far as if you got actually burned, because that's what it sounds like, for the love of God, cool, maybe not cold, but cool showers, immediately followed by it's like a green slime. I hate to say it's like Slimer's jizz, but you got to wipe that. It's like almost pure aloe. You put that on, it's going to soak into your skin real fast. And then you put another coating on. You're going to feel real sticky and shit. The shit works, though. It works really, really well. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you again, Erica and Douglas and Guard and everybody else. Let's see. Going in with you broke the rules. It appears that everybody missed. There was one reference in here you guys missed. It was from the movie Nobody, where the guy says, that's what you don't fucking do, especially when it came to going after kids. You know, he's like, you don't ever do that. You just, there's oops in warfare because oops happen. Okay. I hate the oops, but oops happen. But it is what it is on that. Now let's see. Somebody mentioned we hold very few rules, but we hold them very close to the chest. You were 100% right. And you guys put in the comment section a phrase I have not heard in years. Don't start none, won't be none. Guys, I haven't heard that since the early 1990s. Holy shit. The closest I ever heard since then was Will Smith and Men in Black about don't start none. And I don't even think he finished it when he was going after the big cockroach. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Somebody, you surmised it up. Don't go after the boats, dock, or the kids. Any one of them's going to piss us off. Do all three? You're fucked. Not nearly as fucked as I was on the channel making this one. Okay. There's a price to pay when you go beyond human. It went over like a fart in a confined area, like inside a car, and the windows won't go down. Apparently, no. Apparently it didn't go over well at all. I don't know if it was the thumbnail or what. But it just failed. I don't know why. It just didn't get views worth of shit. Only a few comments were there. And someone, I won't mention who, but it's one of our lady and gentlemen that's here, said that they could see this happening if it happens. And another one said they have dreamed this exact thing multiple times throughout their life. Now, here's the fun. This is what happens when you're empathic. And let me get this off so I can look you guys in the eye. Yeah, I know. I'm wearing glasses. I know. Anyways, when you're empathic, one of the things you do is you pick up on shit that other people are doing, what other people are going to write, what they're going to see. You're probably able to know what episode of a show is going to be on television before you even sit down to watch it. Not because you know the order they're in, but simply because you already have a reference and empathically, you know that's what's going to come up. So there's no ambiguity. I do that. I don't watch much TV anymore, but that used to happen all the fucking time. So, like the guys, as much as I don't like the Men in Black, I mean, the movies are okay, but in the movies, I will say there was the guy who could see multiple dimensions. They said, "What's it like?" He goes, "It's a giant pain in the ass, but it has its moments," and that's what you got to grab a hold of. So that goes over all the notes. So since I'm going to be switching over, I did get most, if not all, of the media assets that came in. So I am going to try and put them all up one by one. Hopefully they work. I did have to alter one. It was the nuke drop. Unfortunately, well, you'll see what I mean when I play it. It's not this one. It's another one.
Торпеды прямо по курсу. Торпеды прямо по курсу.
Вражеский эсминец уничтожен.
I gotta say this, watching that again, I was reading the comments. I'll get to the comments here, the last two in a second. But watching that, dude, you are way too reliant on your forward turrets. Way, way, way too reliant. You're not allowing your rear turrets to traverse enough. So you're not maximizing your firepower. And in that type of warfare, once you start opening up range, you need to get as many rounds in the air as possible. It's crazy. I know you like using cruisers and destroyers, but you're cutting your firepower in half. However, there's one coming up, and which is, I think, the one you're talking about. Bye Bye Battleship. Yes, I got that one in there. It's in the running. It's going to be shown tonight. So wait on that one there, War Sniper. And Alan says what I was talking about is also precog, as in precognition. Yes and no. It's not quite the same. Precognition will allow you to see things you haven't experienced first. A lot of being an empath, you have to have something you can relate to. It's kind of weird. Like I said, it's a giant pain in the ass, but or I should say, hold on, where's the next one? But it is what it is. All right. This one made me laugh, guys. And if you guys see this in the comment section, by all means, lambaste some motherfucker, because somebody accused me of being an AI channel or reading AI script. I'm like, what in the front flipping, flying forward, boating fuck are you talking about? That is just, I mean, I don't mind letting them think that, but it kind of makes sense they would think that because there's so many AI channels out there, and that I fumble some of the words. Yeah, I fumble some of the words because I'm reading my own stuff that's written fucking longhand. And yeah, if any, Let me just say it this way. If you guys want to know if it's a real live person behind the microphone, just look to see if there's a fucking live stream. Hello, you guys are on one right now. Okay? Yeah, it drives me freaking crazy, man. I mean, I spend all the time writing, and this one here, let me try and flip to the first page of this chapter so you can see what else I'm actually fucking working on. And I can tell the one is getting to me because I'm getting pissed off. Does that seem like something familiar to you? Next chapter that I'm like 7.5 to 8 pages in already. Well, I'm already trying to write other shit. It's just, I'm not trying to take the easy way out, guys, which again, that's why I try to take or not do subscription model if I can help it. I might not have a choice here soon. It is what it is, though. All right. I got 3 more things to go into, and then we're going to go into, if you guys want to continue as a call-in stream, because this is the first one of the month, I will put everything into the in the chat box. However, since I am changing subjects, I do have to do this.
MG ready. Armor piercing. Loaded. Overclock. Ready. Target destroyed.
That was a quick right through the wall and how you doing, motherfucker. All right. Now, I wanted to go over this because you guys actually brought up the whole thing about being brought into another war zone. I don't know if you guys seen it, but they just ended drone warfare. More or less just ended it. You know the old phrase, how do you catch a mouse? Build a mouse trap. Well, they just build a better mouse, so you have to build a better mouse trap. And it goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And in this case, they found a way to shoot down at minimum 50 drones in less than a second. And a lot of these they used were either the standard, I buy them off Amazon, pieces of whatever you want to call them, or over at Best Buy type of drones. They literally just fell out of the sky. And they also put them against the Switchblade drones that they were going to hand over to the infantry guys like myself, which I would have loved to have used one. However, it's not going to matter much if I'm flying it to the target and all of a sudden it just dies all of a sudden and falls to the ground as a friggin' worthless piece of garbage that they can then siphon or take the charge out of and use it as a fucking IED. That'd be bad. But it's some sort of directed energy pulse weapon. Can't see it. You just aim it in a direction and you're looking at a screen and powie. The guys who build it and send it out, they just tested a newer design and they showed it on the Sean Ryan show. And he's got some really interesting folks on his show. I mean, it'll fuck your brain up. So be wary of that one. Hold on. But just know that all this drone warfare, everybody said it was going to take the military, the grunts off the ground. Well, energy weapons like that, you know what they do to the human body? Not a fucking thing. They might give you a headache. That's about it. They ain't going to stop you, and they sure as hell don't stop a bullet. They ain't going to stop an artillery round, that's for sure. They don't lock on and fire fast enough to hit a flying artillery round. Or else they might, stress, might be able to damage the fuse. So I just wanted to bring that one up, and that one was really quick. So let's move on to the next subject after we do a quick, this. Thread the needle on that shot. All right. I got to go over some of the games, guys, because, it's some of the stuff we go over. We go over entertainment. that is coming out, but we don't do deep dive. You want to deep dive into these games and how they're doing, go look up Dr. Disaster. He does a great job on each of these. Granted, his videos are like anywhere from 9 to like 20 plus minutes long. I really don't have time to watch his videos all day. It'd be nice if I did. I just don't. Apparently, there's a new game called, and I'm going to get this wrong, Aphelon, however the fuck that's supposed to be. Massive flop. It died right there. And of course it did, because it was made for modern audiences. And everybody's like, oh my God, why did it was supposed to be so great, but nope, it died. Just like Rainbow Six Siege. Do you guys hear about this? A fucking Rainbow Six movie or game is suddenly all it's so bad it makes me want to hit this button again.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Seriously, it's a bunch of soldiers running around with full automatics, grenades, and everything else they can do to shoot some motherfucker, and they're gonna friggin' fruit bowl this shit. No. That never belonged in the fucking storyline. You know, if you want to make one of your characters swing on both sides of the fence, that's fine, but it shouldn't be right up in someone's face like that. That's bullshit. Okay, what? No wonder their pre-orders have gone to hell. Oh man, it drives me crazy. And there's another one called my penmanship sucks. Saros or something like that. Apparently was really good until the end. Apparently the ending was designed for modern audiences, and it was so bad. The reviews are saying it is so bad it makes you not want to play the game. So a lot of the orders that haven't gone out yet are being canceled. And a few people are demanding refunds. Although I will say this, once you play the game, it's yours. If you don't like it, that's your own fault. But seriously, I swear, these motherfuckers. And that's bad enough. We've all seen shows like Game of Thrones was really good until the last like 2 episodes, and it just friggin' went down like a dragon with a friggin' harpoon through its ass. I mean, just down it went. So it makes me, it was until that point, Game of Thrones was worth rewatching multiple times. Like Band of Brothers is worth watching multiple times. Maybe you only watch it once every couple of years, but it's got multiple but now it's just not it. And then we get to Marathon. Holy fuckle knuckles. What fucking penis wrinkle thought this was a good idea? I mean, shit. Apparently, it's on track to cost Bungie millions. We're talking tens of millions of dollars because they had all this shit lined up. They had multiple things lined up. Everything was already starting to move. So they had multiple expansion packs, multiple storylines for each individual character. And now it's just, it's burning in like a B-52 with a stealth shot off. It's flat spinning in, and that's the worst right there. If you flat spin in, you are so beyond fucked. That's actually why the ejection seat was started, so people can get out in a flat spin. Unfortunately, the ejection seat's going to break your spine, but whatever. But it just, I don't know why they did that. I mean, Marathon was just so bad. Why did they put more money in something? It's just so, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Bolshevik.
I said it. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
There you go, guys. You know where that's from. You know you got to drink now. So anyways, there is one bright spot in all the games coming out Lords of Fallen 2, apparently it's not out yet. My schedule keeps changing, guys, on these. So if it is out, you guys got to let me know. But apparently Lords of Fallen, just on the teaser trailer, is pissing off the modern audiences. Why? Because the characters are pleasant to look at. Oh, no, anything but that. Oh, Jesus. What is wrong with these folks? I mean, come on. We want to, if they change Lara Croft into, I don't know, some goat or something, a lot of people wouldn't have played it because you're literally third person. You're staring at her digitized butt the entire time. Granted, it's pixelated like diagonal and crap, but it was at least enough that you didn't want to turn the fucking thing off. And this is why whoever's doing Lords of Fallen, do not fall prey to the modern audience bullshit. Hopefully they don't get sweet babied, and then they can come out with a game you guys can actually enjoy. I don't have time to play video games, but you know, I don't want to. I hate when somebody's hobby just gets taken over and driven into the fucking mud. It's like the whole thing about people taking over all the ice skating arenas that all these kids are playing hockey, and then suddenly they're charging kids they're actually charging the parents 10 times more than what it used to be to play. Then, oh no, you can't actually film in there because they're going to film. They want to sell you this. They're pricing everything out of the motherfucking market. And when you make the characters so horrendously bad to look at deliberately, then you price yourself out of the market out on something other than actual money. So yeah. On that note, before I get over to the movie section, did we watch that? Yeah, we watched that one. Let's do this one. I believe that was the bye-bye battleship. Someone, I won't mention who, was looking forward to. There was one you sent me where it was point-blank range, gave him a full broadside of torpedoes. Now, I do know that in World War II, our torpedoes sucked. The Type 92 from Japan were real nice, and those actually worked. Anyway, I ran out of places to put the pictures, guys, so I wanted to talk about this. The Star Whores. Disney Star Whores. Oh, boy. There's actually some shit moving. I don't know if you guys heard about this. First off, the Mandalorian and the green turd that goes along with them, the movie, the projections are far worse than they thought. So much worse. Oh, my God. The numbers keep changing constantly. But... well, it's just wow, it's bad. Let's just say it's bad. It's far worse than they thought, or far worse than they said was going to happen. So yeah, it is what it is on that. However, on the bright spot, okay, whoever thought this was a good idea was really smart. Apparently, they're going to do a soft reboot of the three Disney sequels. Now, they can't get rid of Shlomo and all that. So, yeah, they're going to have to just ride that one down. They already killed off the character, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't think any of the surviving original cast is going to want anything to fucking do with them. So, they're probably going to have to CGI or deep fake these folks in like they did during the Mandalorian show, which I got no real problems with. I mean, these guys are supposed to be able to live for several hundred years, so it is what it is. So we'll see how that goes. in all honesty, if they want to soft reboot the Mundane show, they need to contact me. So yeah, sorry. Chris said something. He said, don't read it out loud. So I was like, oh shit, something happened. Well, oh boy, 55. Okay. Actually, dude, I would believe because I've come across things that just they hurt my brain. And this was like 20 years ago. Okay. And it was like my jaw was on the ground. I said, no fucking way. And I still remember telling people, you know, at least in the service, one of the main things they're going to be looking for is what's inside your blood. And people looked at me like I was crazy. Well, now that's what they're doing. So yeah, fun. And you know, it's kind of what the what this story was all about, in your blood. Now, I didn't want to overshoot on another story with the one with the M in your hands. I know a lot of you guys, you actually have the M in your hands. I actually have them on both, which is kind of creepy. I mean, this one's more easy to see than this one, but it's still there. But anyways, it is what it is on that. So anyways, going back because, oh God, I fell down the rabbit hole. Oh no, I fell down the rabbit hole, guys. All right. No, still falling. Anyways, going back to the Star Horse, we'll see how that turns out. Maybe they learn their lesson. I fucking doubt it. But we'll see what type of Bolshevik they come up with. And by the way, I could say that 3 times, and no, I don't have the video for the if you say it 3 times, guys. But you know, I said it, so you gotta drink. But yeah, we'll see how that one goes. So before I get too far, we got one more video to watch. It's pretty long. Giggity. And yeah, let's see how it's. I had to fix the audio on this, so I want to see how it came out. I didn't get to actually see it with the audio fixed. So here we go. Yeah, you're gonna have to let me know if that was we're just watching the power of the sun off in the distance with those flashes, because you titled it Nuke Drop, and I was like, wahaha. And Lena, the fighter, yes, was beeping. That was ground warnings and lock on warnings. And I could see one of the kickers was if you're flying in that low and you want to stay as low as possible, you actually just use your pedals and it'll keep you flat. Most game stick controllers don't allow you to do that. But yeah, I actually talked to a pilot. He said, yeah, that's the way you do that. You want to come in as low as you can, and you're just moving the aircraft like that. You're not turning very sharp at all, but you're staying level and flat so that the radar doesn't have a chance to pick you up. Because as soon as you tilt your wings, you're putting a disruption that they can pick up, at least some of them. So on that note, I'm going to have another drink. Yeah. War Sniper is wondering what the M in the hand means. I've heard different things. Apparently, you've got M in one hand or M in both, plus the the moon or something. I forget which side the half moon is supposed to be. Yeah, Douglas is saying he's got the half moon on both hands. I don't know about the X. Do I got an X? I got an X on this one. X marks the spot, I guess. Anyways, they're supposed to mean different things as far as like awakened ones or some such thing, and also say that you're more creative and things of that nature. That's for people who read the palms. I just happened to stumble across that video when I was driving one day and I was listening to it and I was in traffic, so I couldn't reach for my phone and put anything else on. So I just kind of let it go. And it was interesting. So on that one, let me scroll up here. And I'll start up here with Douglas saying, my mobile home is being in place this week. Maybe in a week or so, I get to move into it. Okay. And then he asks if we're over in the Europe war. No, I'm not. Oh, that's a nice one, Erica. Back like a bad habit. I haven't heard that one before. Oh, War Sniper. Oh, that was for War Sniper is on the other side of Europe. Okay, okay. Over in Spain area, I'm guessing. Let's see, down here. Yep, there's the blowing up of the tree stump. Gotta love tannerite, man. It makes a big kablooey. We actually put maybe, I don't know, about the size of a pint mason jar's worth inside a pumpkin. There was no pumpkin. And I told him that was going to happen. It's just going to blow the thing into tiny little pieces because you're so compressed. And yeah, kablooey. I actually shot the damn thing myself. War Sniper, you're having hiccups. Hopefully you got that figured out. And yeah, there's Sniper with the whole thing. Damn, Zane, you really have a thing with demons, do you? That succubus that visited you in the night in your past rubbed off on you. Didn't actually, I don't even know if it was one. All I know, there was something there. I couldn't really see it. I knew something was in the room, and I'm sitting there literally reaching over, grab my knife like, I dare you, asshole. Whoever you are, whatever you are, you just fucking move. So anyways, Doug said, names do mean different things in different languages. Yes. My American name in Garlic, I think you mean Gaelic, means from the land of dark water, a wise king, Your Majesty. Okay. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that was a spell check thing. He continues, my Native American name means little grizzly bear. Roar. Okay. So I gotta stop saying that, or I'm gonna get another one of these.
You are fined 1 homo suspicion point for violation of the Man Code Morality Statute.
Yeah, that could be bad. All right. Let's see. Sniper says, wait, didn't you tell us that you and your friends partially summoned a succubus and that succubus touched you at night and you told it to go away and that it was a mistake and the succubus let you be? Yeah, I kind of did. But again, I didn't turn to look at it. I kind of keep implements close to me and I wasn't sure if what I was feeling was one of those or not. So I had my hand on the hilt like, if anything actually grabs a hold of me, I'm slashing at it. And you're right. I did say that. And we have what is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Is he here? He's here. It's the SS Demon. As he says, can't stay, just wanted to super chat before you go offline. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you very much. Let me write this down. I think Demon, yeah, you still had a week to go yet. So here, let me adjust that a little bit. So there you go. Because Steven and Prozac and Pancakes, they actually added weeks on too. Thank you for being here, Demon. Appreciate it. And hopefully we can see you sometime later. It is what it is, though. And once again, thank you. And heading back up here. I have no idea where I was. I'm trying to figure out. I was farther down than that. But yeah, anyway, worst number. You're right. I did mention that. It's just when it was there, I didn't want to look. I honestly, I've looked in the abyss once already and I blinked. So yeah, I'm good. Erica says, I've been doing that. Aloe is my new best friend. She's talking about the sunburns. I guarantee that. Yeah. If you can get pure aloe, that's your best bet. Most places don't have pure aloe. They've always cut it with something, which kind of sucks. Because aloe, you know how I said that green shit like sucks into your skin? Pure aloe you'll actually wipe it on. You'll actually see it sinking in, but it's actually going deep to all the layers, doing what it needs to. And yep, you're right. I did tell you about that. Let's see. Yeah, Doug was saying Icy Hot's my best friend. Yeah. I've been having headaches every morning past couple days, which really sucks when you're trying to lift. As like maybe 2 days ago, I was in the gym, and as soon as I got the bar up, I just went, nope, put it back up, racked the weights, and walked out. Just that one flex I had is just all of a sudden it felt like my brain or my skull was going to snap. I'm sorry, but that's funny, Douglas, how you're fighting the spell check. I meant garlic, not garlic. Gaelic. Oh man. Oh, that's funny. That shit's funny, man. I'm still mad that these buttons don't work, or I'd have the laugh track going. And now one of the buttons I thought was working is not, I'm actually hitting it, guys. It's not working. Let's see. I already talked about the precognition thing. So, okay, we did Bye Bye Battleship. Yeah, double whammy Wednesday. If you're talking about something familiar, I don't have anything dropping today, guys. I was way too busy. It's very rare if I can actually get a Wednesday free. I actually had to take care of my dad a lot today, so it is what it is. Warstorm says, Sin, I told you already I had an enemy in my back. If I showed my back guns to a destroyer and moved my back guns into him, I might have caught those torpedoes and a few rounds in my citadel. You fight the way you believe is best, dude. I'm just, me personally, when I have larger weapons like that, I try to get as far away as I can. Now, I noticed on the map you had a lot of islands in the way. The thing is, when you're coming around the corner of the island, you might want to pie the corner a lot. It's actually what it is, pieing the corners. You're looping around farther. That gives you more avenues. So in case you're turning and you say, oh, shit, you don't have to turn the other way because there's an island right there. You can actually like full rudder one side and get the hell out of the line of fire. That's just my thinking. I don't play the game. You're obviously you do, and you're better at it than me. So whatever works, you keep doing it. Draven's here. If Sin is AI, he's next gen. Why not? What am I? One of the Kalons or something from that shitty show, The Orville? Which, by the way, I will say this: it started off good. It started off very well. It devolved into something I can't watch. Okay, that was too big of a swig. Sorry, that. Whew. That's my get angry juice, I guess you could say. Douglas says precog is not always accurate. Reason, as Yoda said, always changing. The future is. Or always changing. I can't do the Yoda voice. I've never been able to do a decent Yoda voice ever. I don't know why. I just can't. But yeah. That's true. That is very true. One of the weirdest ones, though, that I actually experienced, I thought it was a nightmare when I was young. I mean, I was really young, like 5, 6 years old. And I remember this nightmare very, very vividly because it was the first one I actually woke up and I'm just sweating. I'm just like, what the hell? I was sweating so much I thought I pissed myself. Thank God I didn't. But I remember seeing airborne guys coming down, parachuting down, and one of them was stuck on a light post, like in the power lines, just kind of hanging there. And I'm like, why in the flying fuck knuckles am I thinking about this? And it's like a desert type thing. And it wasn't until like 40 years later that I realized Red Dawn and Modern Warfare 3 have the exact same shit as far as airborne folks in the middle of the United States. And one of the Terminator movies, the female pilot, she ejected and she got caught in a power line tower. And she's just hanging there, kind of trying to get herself down. And I'm like, oh my God, I saw this shit like 40 years ahead. What the fuck? And it was really strong when I was a kid. And those of us that, and I'm sure there's a few of you that are the same way. And yeah, you can't tell me it doesn't freak you the fuck out a few times. I know it freaks me out. One that kind of I wish would just leave me alone was when I was a kid. I saw I kid you not, I thought I saw a T-Rex outside my window. And then what came out when I was a teenager? Jurassic fucking Park. And there's that same fucking T-Rex looking in another piece of glass in the same exact position. I'm like, what the fuck was I afraid of? A fucking movie? Well, what the hell did I know? I was just a little kid. You know, it is what it is. Anyways. Let's see. Erica says, how many AI accusations do you get? I've got a few recently, not a lot. I'd say over the past 2 weeks, maybe about 4. That's it. And I usually say the same thing I told you guys before. Does AI do live streams? No, they don't. And then I usually give them a link to the live streams, at least the latest one. It's like, that's me, dumbass. Let's see. Sniper says, Sin, do you like the idea that you will be part of the side story of a platoon leader? Is that the one you said? I'm not sure if that's the one I printed off. You know, I haven't even got to them. I've been so busy lately. It's crazy. Seems like everybody wants a piece of this guy. Everybody wants a piece of this Polish sausage right here. Okay, that sounded wrong. Not quite gay, but wrong. But I haven't even got into those, and I am actually putting together. Tomorrow is going to be the soundproofing is going up. We just got the glue and everything to put it up, and we're moving the tables in to the office. And somebody I know has got to actually come here and disconnect some cables from the fuse box. I'm good with all the rest of the electrical. I will not touch that motherfucking fuse box because there's so much juice going through that. Even though I've been taught what to do, or I should say shown what to do, I've never physically done it. And the guy I know is an actual electrician. He knows his shit. He can be done in 5 fucking minutes or less. I just have to run the lines, hook the outlets up and the switches, and call it good. You know, that'll probably take me the better part of a day to do that. Because I got to put in, 2 sets of outlets, at least 1 light, at least 1 switch, you know, and then I got to run the cables up. I got to get all the pipes and everything to actually run them because I can't have the bare wires out. That's just not good. All right. Alan says, yeah, it does show good possible as drone defense. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Chris says, oh, yeah, that's the don't read out loud. Okay. There's the Guardian Sage. Greetings, mortals and other assorted beings. And Guardian says, I lost track of time while watching other videos. At least it's only 1906, as in 706. Yeah. At first, if you read that, you're like, 1906? What year are you in? They didn't have computers back then, at least not that we were told. So, and Draven says, you have, an M and a Y on my hands. He's talking hands here. Okay. See, War Sniper says, what does the M? Oh, yeah, I went over that. The M, again, it's supposed to be either enlightenment or builder or there's something else that goes with it. And I'm not fully sure how that's supposed to work. I don't sit there and read all this stuff. I've come across it a few times and I use it in the stories every once in a while just to, juice things up a little bit. However, that last one, which would be this one, like I said, went over like a case of diarrhea in a pew, as in church. So, yeah, I'm going to stay away from that for a while. Still going down here. Chris says, here around where we are now for about 6,000 years, when something happened something happened, but the translation about them is wrong. It's not from the heavens they came. It's from they were fleeing as refugees we lost. Did I miss part of what you were saying before? Oh, okay. Yep. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have read that. Yeah, the thing, when you talk about pastoral, what the hell? Sorry, guys. For some reason, my ear just started ringing. That's weird. It's just going off on this one tone. Maybe it's my 12-itis. I don't have 10-itis. I got 12-itis in my ears. Anyways, when you're talking about past years, since the whole carbon dating has been actually proven to be a load of crap, and that's not a shot against geologists. They were just taught wrong. That's just that it is what it is. And they're scientists. Any real scientist would say, okay, I'm wrong, and here's the proof. Okay, let's move on from this here. And no one would ever, if anybody holds something against you because you didn't know something or were told wrong, then they got some problems. They're the ones who are fucked up. But anyways, as far as these numbers about how many years back and all that, is just, I don't trust that, especially since our calendar has been fucked with so much. But yeah, you're right. It's something about the lost. You're right. I don't get it either. Anyways, down here, War Sniper says, yes, that was a nuke drop, a large tactical nuke drop, but I didn't record it, so I had to go back in and use the in-game editing part to record. So it's a bad record of a nuke drop. So you actually let it go as you were spinning out of control? Okay. And there's Sniper from the Netherlands. Okay. He also says, oh, Netherlands I live in. Why? The Netherlands, my channel. My channel. Oh, okay. And there's more from Chris. Let me see what's in from the resistance. And they were charged and changed. I didn't understand everything. Looked at it, but we were finding some strange things like. Yeah, there is some weird stuff in that very, very weird stuff. He didn't want me to read it out loud, so I'm not going to go crazy on it, but he's right. There is some weird shit in the fossil record. Like, they have yet to find a complete skeleton of anything in the fossil record. They just assume, oh, we found a femur here, so the rest of it must be like that. It's just shit that just blows my mind, really. Why people can be so presumptuous. Now, I know back when they were doing the whole running, trying to get every single dino fossil in the continental United States, it originally started with two guys who were just absolutely hardcore. I don't know the names. And eventually they had a falling out, and they would actually sabotage each other to the point of dynamiting entire ridge lines. Be like, haha, you didn't get your stuff. I should have the Nelson thing on there. And then you look at him, you want to say,
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Especially during those ages, everybody just wanted notoriety. They didn't understand the greater good, nor did they give a shit. Oh, that feels better. Leonid says, Android girl from Pragmata reminded me of the VTuber I watched 5 months ago during winter holidays. She looks similar to Obake Pam, a mascot VTuber from Play Asia Company. You just went over my head. Like I can't even catch that. That moves so fast. I don't know about if she looks like that. I can say this, and I gotta get like super serious with you guys for a second. Because I just found out about this. Apparently, some guy, he's like, I think right now he's in his 50s, but when he was younger, he had a young daughter, and they even showed pictures of her who looked very similar to the Diana character in Pragmata. I mean, she had a little bit chubbier cheeks, but that's about it. Same color eyes, same hair, all that. And he said he was still having trouble letting go because his daughter died of some sort of like cancer or something like that. It was real bad. And he said playing that game helped him out a lot. And I believe Asmund went over that as well. And even Asmund was getting all choked up on that because it really, they say men don't have feelings. Bullshit. We just can't show them. Well, rage is okay. We're allowed to do that one. But actual, real, honest to God feelings, we're not allowed to show that shit. And on that note too, apparently, and I can't prove this one, so don't kill me, guys. Apparently, one guy decided to put a lewd type of picture, CGI picture of the Diane character from Pragmata. Somebody searched, found him, doxed him, and apparently got him blackballed from ever working on any type of 3D renderings ever. And that's the only thing the guy knows how to do. Seriously, that character is what, 7-8 years old? No, absolutely not. No. I mean, seriously, he broke the fucking rules. We just went over this. He broke the fucking rules, and he deserves everything he gets, or in this case, doesn't get. All right. Down here, Erica says, I have an M and a crescent formed by both hands. The placement and what hands they are means different things. That I know that. I don't know much about the palm reading except for that. Yeah. I don't know where the crescent is supposed to be, honestly. Is it supposed to be around the pinky? Is it supposed to be around the thumb? Because I think I got one on my right hand. I can't really see one on my left. Or at least around the pinky. I mean, I got one around the thumb, but I think everybody has that one. So, yeah. See, Chris says, the earthquakes where I am making things hard. And I get hit by any more falling rocks, I'm going to lose my shit. But I'm trying to ask the Smith people more info about what I'm looking at. Oh, boy. I didn't know there was that many earthquakes happening right now. I'm in a very, very calm zone, so I don't hear much about the quakes. And Douglas up here said, I love getting people to laugh, Sin. When I was at a VA appointment, there was a nurse who looked like she was having a bad day. I got to run, but stay safe, everybody. And I'll be free in a couple weeks. I miss y'all. We're going to miss you too, man. And by the way, Chris, I hope you remembered that we had one of these just for you. So you and Steve, actually. Let's see.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
No, something is right because we got a $5 super chat from Joseph Blosh. Let me write this down. The pen doesn't want to come out. And he says, brains. And it's my birthday. Allow me particularly cover the cost of a coffee. Well, for $5, it depends on where you go. I mean, seriously, have you seen what some people are friggin' paying for coffee nowadays? I mean, I don't go to Star Schmucks, but Jesus, titty fucking Christ. It's insane. One coffee will cost you like $6. And you know, I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna write down zombie here so I remember to make sure you get your shout out as the zombie. Maybe you'll get the zombie, what the hell was that guy? The purple guy from all the Marvel shit there. Thanatos, whatever the fuck his name is. Anyway, thank you, Joseph, very much. And happy birthday, man. And you know what? Do I have anything on my soundboard that says happy birthday? God dang, no, I don't. Ah, shit. Nope, can't use that one. That would be an insult. Ah, shit. Damn, you set me up, and I swear you set me up as it's a trap. And then we have somebody who's rolling on in here. It's a $10 super chat from Brian Kemp. And he says, great stories. Well, thank you there, Brian. And make sure you get written down here. Thank you very much. We had Brian, Joseph, Erica, Douglas, Guard, and Demon all in here tonight. And very much appreciate you guys. And we are still going to keep on rolling. Hey, oh shit. Hold on. Ah, damn it. I almost erased the entire. Oh, that was close, guys. Oh, I almost erased the entire chat box. Oh, that would have been bad. Oh man. Actually, Douglas said he was saying how he's making people laugh. He says, I told her, no fair. She's pretty. She looked stunned for a second and started laughing and said, thanks. Okay. Guardians here talking about Erica and her burns. Says, my grandma used to keep an aloe plant at her place when I was a kid. Not sure if she still had one when she passed a few years back. Yeah. It's for the grandma there. And yeah, having one around is always a good idea. Now, the thing is, aloe plants also usually produce more oxygen than they take in. So there's that. And holy shit, Ava's here. Oh, man. I can no longer say lady and gentleman because we have both of you girls in here. Or I should say you ladies. And unfortunately, damn. I don't have a button for you, Ava. You're going to have to tell me some sound of certain phrase or sound effect or whatever you want that you're going to have because we got Erica's here. But anyways, nice to see you there, Ava. Let's see. Lena says, I like watching seals. I like watching seals are good Star Wars videos on YouTube. It always makes me giggle. Haha. I will say this. There's a group that actually goes around and they used to do this at like malls and stuff, especially if there was like a piano or something, and they would start doing one of the like the Imperial March or something like that. And then on different areas, they would have like the brass section or the strings and stuff like that. And then they were bringing everybody else to start doing Duel of Fates. And there's two guys up and actually doing the Fate laser dildo fight. It is just so nice to watch. I appreciate the time and effort it takes to have something coordinated like that, especially the two guys doing the swinging of the peckers there. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's just done so well. I would rather watch two guys do that live action any day than ever watch it on film. The only time I would say that the on film was done exceptionally well, excuse me, was when the very first episode 1, where they the two guys there, the guy who had the red face paint on and the guy who played Obi-Wan, they spent so much time practicing that they were moving so fast the director kept telling them to slow down, and they're like, why? This is the way Jedi would actually move. And when you actually watch them practice, they're moving. I mean, it's just I appreciate when somebody does the work, and they did such a good job. I can't help but like it. As much as I don't like Star Wars, I can't help but like it. Yep, it looks like Ava has been busy as well. It is the season. It's getting to be planting season around here, guys, which is why most likely in the next 2 weeks it's still going to get very spotty as far as video drops, just because I'm going to be really busy. The weather stays warm, then I got to start seeding the garden. I have a dump truck full of shit coming in to get spread out and everything. As soon as that's done, I got to get that planted. I got to get the fencing put up. I got to start chopping at the wood and all this other shit. We got more chickens coming in. It's just going to be busy, guys. Just, it is what it is. I will do as best I can to make sure I get at least one story out or one chapter out every single day. Maybe not this one, because doing something familiar takes a long time. You notice there's no gaps. That if you guys are looking at the screen, you'll notice on this page there is absolutely no paragraphs. There's no indentions. There's no double space. The only reason I stop at that space on the bottom right there is because I can't hold it up and write clearly on that, because I'm not at a desk writing. I'm actually sitting with my leg up. I'm downstairs because the office isn't done yet. And so yeah, but I'll do what I can. And I actually wrote the notes down. The only thing I got is the title. It says already dead, and they know it. So yeah, that's the next one. Besides something familiar, that's the next one that's coming up. And I got to work on demon stuff too. You guys are starting to send me stuff in, and I need a place to spread the stuff out. I do not have a lot of room here. I mean, you can see I'm on the battlefield, so not a lot of room to maneuver. Draven here saying, I had a dream. Duck. No, I'm kidding. I've had dreams long ago that I have long since forgotten about, and find things happen later on in my life that makes me vividly remember those dreams because things happened exactly the same. Draven, that is exactly what we were talking about before. It is not precognition, not true precognition, as you would say. You are seeing things that you're seeing bits and pieces that don't make sense until you live through them, which means even though you're seeing the future, you are not changing the future at that point because there's not enough information to change on. Trust me, if I jump back to say 1984 or something like that, 1985, like watching Back to the Future or something like that, motherfucker, I would be changing a lot of shit. And anybody says I wouldn't change a thing is most likely thinking about their kids. And that was actually one of the videos I did when this channel was still all about mind fuckery and suspense, not really horror as much, but trying to spook you, trying to scare you, trying to make you think a little too deep so you freak out a little. And that was one of the things. It's the guy uncovered a djinn, and that was the thing. It was, I know what your deepest wish is, to go back and fix all your mistakes. However, if he does, he risks his kids, his nephews, his nieces, and all this other folks not being born. So yeah, you got to make sure there are assurances there. And yeah, anyway, Draven, that's exactly what we were talking about there. Sniper says, it is the same story, Sin, but that part of the story came later. I need to set up characters and different names because I gone. Oh, you went too far to Modern Warfare 2 reference? Okay. In Alien Invasion. Okay. Well, I honestly, now this was one from a creator that I thought was very interesting. When you're dealing with alien invasion movies, at least on the screen, you either have a overpowered alien or you're making a war movie with aliens in it. And it's kind of weird how that goes in. Like Battle Los Angeles, which is a god-awful shit movie, by the way. Has like one or two good scenes that are extremely brief. Aside from that, the rest of it is god-awful. But that is a war movie that just happens to have aliens in it. And then you have aliens where there's some fighting, you know, like the actual Aliens or Alien and Aliens movie. You don't actually have an amalgamation of the two. Usually the alien species is so overpowered that just like Independence Day, you have to find some sort of strange life hack to friggin' hurt them. Or like they did War in the Worlds, how it just happened to find some parasites or something that ate them off from the inside. Draven says, ringing in the ears means somebody's talking smack about you. So I've been told. Same thing about if somebody sneezes. I've heard that one too. You know, you sneeze once, somebody's talking bad about you. You sneeze multiple times, they're talking good about you. Whatever. I think the sneezing multiple times is they're trying to get you to sneeze multiple times because that will make sure to clear you out. So it is what it is. Sniper also says, Sin, people start to wake up over the researchers disappearing. There is a researcher at this moment researching the manipulation of gravity being attacked from outside her home by men in a car. Oh, men in a car outside that use a microwave X-ray weapon on her, making her skin burn, her head hurt. And when she covered her window, it showed her face from the waves. Oh, probably shielded her face from the waves. Yeah. I did see that. She is still sending videos, as far as I know, showing that she's still alive. And honestly, they gotta quit this because people are starting to get more than a little annoyed at the fact that they know now it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's a conspiracy fact that they're trying to hide technology that we should have commonplace now. They're trying to hide it from us. How many times in different stories have I brought that up, that somehow the information was dropped into the public's hands, right into their lap? And then what happens? The same fucking thing that happens when you find any society. It doesn't matter where on this planet ever. It does not matter. If you give them an entire generation ahead in technology, not something they've eased into, not something they grew up with, something that is just there all of a sudden throughout this entire planet, whenever you go to a society and they have not earned the position of, say, using a firearm. They haven't even started using muskets yet, and now you're giving them weapons with cartridges. That's an entire generational leap past firearm. Actually, that's 2 generations leap past firearms, because the original firearms were not handheld. They were cannons, because they thought if you made it any smaller, the fucking thing would explode. I mean, they're not totally wrong. That being said, you had cannons at first, then you had hand cannons, which was the next iteration. Then you had actual muskets, as we understand them, usually flintlocks or matchlocks and things like that. Then you had flintlock muskets. Then you had cap-fed muskets. All that's just another evolution. Then you had cap lock rifles, and then you got all the way to cartridges. And once you actually had the cartridges, that is when things really holy shit changed. I mean, they really changed. But that's what, seven generations of technology jumping, and you're just handing people that you're going to have a country tear itself to fucking pieces. You're going to have an entire society tear itself to fucking pieces. I mean, and not to sound like, I'm racist or anything, but you just got to look at Africa. That's what happened there. You had other stuff that was happening, like when they were pushing across the West here in the North American continent. It was just bad. I mean, hell, in Hawaii, and by the way, this will piss off Hawaiians if you bring this up. King Kamehameha, and yes, they did get the name for that for Dragon Ball Z. But King Kamehameha, the only reason at all he was able to subdue the other islands is because when he paddled over, it was their standard to allow the landing army to disembark their boats, to set up, and be ready for the fight. King Kamehameha was given, I don't want to say expired, but old weapons, usually like flintlock or caplock muskets. If you put those up and you understand that you fire them in a volley and you're going to watch the first 3 or 4 rows of folks, and by the way, at the time, most Hawaiians were about as thin around as this bottle I'm drinking from. So you're going to go through one, through another, into a third, and then maybe into a fourth. They're just going to drop in one big wave. Well, after 1 or 2 volleys, the other side's just going to give up. If they had decided to not wait and just attack, the ocean itself would have moistened everything up enough where half of those muskets wouldn't have worked. However, he did have 3 or 4 generations ahead of everybody else. He got them from the United States Navy. And what happened? If you've read anything about this guy, he was a bully. He was a wife beater. Some people claim he was into the young ones too, but I can't confirm that one. Almost anything when it comes to tyrant, this motherfucker was. Okay, pure and simple. He was a fucking bully and a tyrant, not a good person. And they were under his family's toe for a long time. And he killed a lot of people just to kill a lot of people. Okay, he Genghis Khan half the island. So, yeah. That's just one of many examples when you jump up that. Now, with the scientists in particular, when this technology finally comes out, when we finally get the anti-grav shit, we were supposed to get in the late 1950s, by the way. I know this because I understand what technologies they were working on. And if you look at the technology of the USS Eldridge in, I believe, 1953, then you know where state-of-the-art actually was. And you can judge all the rest of them on that point. The only thing they didn't understand at that point was radiation. They thought radiation could do a hell of a lot more than it actually could because they started to understand frequency and waves, but they thought radiation in and of itself, especially nuclear radiation, was going to be more in and of itself. The only thing nuclear radiation is and of itself is a very strong carcinogen. That's all it really is. It's not you can't just radiate a spider and give yourself superpowers. It doesn't fucking work that way. Okay, sorry. I kind of went down the rabbit hole, but it irritates me with the fact that they're hiding technology that would make our lives not only so much easier, but would bring us to a point that we wouldn't have to worry about nothing. A lot of you guys worry, like Erica talking about her friggin' sunburn. You give me a simple dermal regenerator and you will watch that shit turn from red to back to its original color in one swipe, one very slow swipe, but one swipe. And then you just have to have somebody go down your back or something like that. Maybe you put it on a stick, somebody get the stick and, you do your back, just clean yourself up and whatever, and you're good to go. But no, not anything like that. We can't possibly have people having a fucking cure instead of a treatment that we can make money off of. Ooh, that last part just, that made me want to hurt somebody. Anyways, the microwave weapon that War Sniper brought up has been very well known and has been used since back in the 60s. When they started talking about what they call it, instantaneous, like human combustion or whatever, spontaneous human combustion, that was them using the X-ray weapon. Because once you get the body to start to boil, it will pretty much explode, catch fire along with everything around you. Okay, that was the whole idea of human combustion. Not to mention, guess what? Your clothes are going to catch on fire. Your hair is going to catch on fire. And we all know you got hair places you don't want to catch on fire. It's just, but yeah, the X-ray weapon's been used for a long, long time, more as a harassing weapon than a actual, like, take someone out type thing. But yeah, anyway, Guardians down here says, yeah, some scientists refuse to allow all the facts, including mathematics, to inform their theories, or probably to prove their theories. Otherwise, certain theories would have been done away with already. Evolution. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, for sure. And it's just, yeah. It staggers me. It just annoys me, guys. It annoys me to no end that they want to hide this technology because some douche nozzle somewhere thought, oh, I can make more money and money equals power. No, it doesn't. No, it does not, because you get one crazy motherfucker who knows what they're doing, has done a little bit of research, and they will end your fucking bloodline because you wanted to friggin' spend all that time on money, and no amount of guards is going to protect you. Trust me, actually getting one of these rich guys is not hard. It's getting away with it that's hard. Remember, it's not the event you got to worry about, it's the aftermath. You always got, you get caught up in that shit, you are fucked. War Sniper continuing says, and she is 1 out of 4 to 5 that had discovered gravity manipulation, and the 4 were all disappeared. I'm sure they were. And a lot of people are like, why would this matter? Why would anti-gravity be such a big thing? Well, you just got to remember with this, okay? First off, you guys seen how in Star Wars, the repulsor engine, and yes, that is a common use term for an anti-gravity engine, is very commonly used in Star Wars. I mean, a lot of vehicles use that. The speeders that you guys see are using that exact same technology. Well, what happens when you have that and you have the ability to control it, to use the same technology to control your forward, your back, your left, your right, any type of movement? Well, now you're not burning any of the fossil fuels. You're not using oil, for one. And could you imagine how fast these guys will freak the fuck out if you even suggest they lose money on oil? When I was a kid, they used to have shows. I remember they had an episode on that show Viper back in the day talking about how one guy had figured out how to run a vehicle on water, so they ended him. And then another one learned how to actually run an internal combustion engine for like 3,000 miles on a gallon of fuel, so they friggin' made him disappear. And in that case, they made him disappear quite literally by disintegrating. However, that I believe was out there as a warning to let people know this is what they'll do. these people, to hold on to whatever tenuous power they believe they have, will kill for it. They will absolutely kill. Or, well, they'll not kill. They'll send their little doggies out there. Good little dog. You go sick him. That's a good boy. You want a treat? You want a treat? Here's $10,000. That's your treat. Yeah, good boy. Fuck you guys. And it's the same type of dogs that do shit like this. Oh, what the fuck? Sorry. I swear that never gets old. That's still funny. Anyways, I want you guys to picture this. Now, we all know that the transportation costs are just a total pain in the friggin' nutsack. How much is it going to cost for one of these big super tankers or big cargo ships to actually have this device put into the bottom of its hull so it lifts out of the water, which means there's very little resistance, and basically just glide above the water by about, I don't know, 10 feet? And what's the worst that's going to happen? That fails, and it splashes into the water and has to turn its main motors on and puts the rest of the way across the ocean. Even if you take out half the amount of time it has to have its engines on, that's a huge savings. And it's going to move a hell of a lot faster going through the air than it will through the water, which means the price of transportation will go down. And you know who likes that? Us, because then we don't have to pay a lot for your, stuff you buy from Temu or what's not. And don't ever buy from Temu, guys. It is dog shit. I only know 2 people that bought from Temu, and they hated it all. Everything they got was garbage. Anyways, there's also, you could put it onto a truck, say a tractor trailer, and you just turn it on. You turn a 20-ton vehicle into a 1-ton vehicle. And with that much rubber on the road, if you got to stop, you're not burning up your brakes nearly as much. You're not burning as much rubber off. You're not putting as much stress on the engine. It's all positives. And they do not want that. They do not want that at all. It's getting so bad on the roads, they're putting facial recognition in your cars now. My brain hurts on that one, guys. I'm not even joking. Let's see. Lena says, during the stream, the audience have joked a little bit to maintain the illusion of the VTuber becoming a star of the video game early release. Well, okay, War Sniper, I'm think I'm misreading this. It says, Sin, do tornado appear in you county? Are you asking if a tornado appears in my county? No. We haven't had a tornado in this state in longer than I've been alive. The closest, there was one up in Mass, touched down maybe a decade ago. And it was only on the ground for like 2 minutes. So, yeah. And it's War Sniper. He wants his Thanos. Guardian says, a large bunny brains cost $5 at a restaurant close to the office in my workspace. That's disgusting, dude. I mean, have I had to eat the entire rabbit? Yeah. But I cooked the fucking thing first. I don't even want to know. They probably serve it like raw, like sushi. Ugh. I like sushi. I ain't eating brains of anything. The thing is, if you're worried about anything in the field, the 2 things you got to be careful of if you're going to eat the entire animal is the marrow and the brains. Either one of those, you have to either boil or cook into a brick before you eat it, because it's too high a risk of something, a pathogen, a virus, a parasite, something in there. Guardian says, unfortunately, they don't open until about half an hour after U.S. workers are on the road to their job sites. Yeah. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Oh, Bite Me's here. He says, greetings. Programs monitoring from work. Okay. Hey, at least you're here. It's all that's what matters, right? War Sniper says, I told Ava to get on stream that everybody misses her, including you, Sin. You're right. You know, unfortunately, I don't have anything really here for Helldivers except for the last one here. Now, I originally, guys, what I want to do specifically for this stream was I tried to get the one where if you look on YouTube, you go Helldivers Vietnam. And if you guys know which one that is, you'll know it's really good. You know, with the ships coming in. Then they got friggin' what is that? Whatever, the Vietnam anthem in the back there. And but unfortunately, or I should say, excuse me, but unfortunately, it wouldn't go through the software to rip it off of YouTube. So I think it was because it had the music in it, because I got another one. Maybe I could maybe I can get it on here. Live stream. Okay. While we're doing that, let me go over here. Let's see. My motorcycle go noom nor broom. Not okay. A little trouble there, War Sniper. Shit. Okay. See. Oh, you know what? I hit the wrong damn button. Hang on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get the where the hell did I put it? Nope, not that one. I could have freaking swore I had it in here. Whatever. I'm not going to spend all the time looking. But I had one for Helldivers where everybody was just kind of around Super Earth. And there wasn't any. It was the Helldivers anthem, but that was about it in the background. Lena says, I remember how I always thought I wanted to have a science fiction gun from the anime Psychopaths. It's called the Dominator. Okay. A Dominator weapon speaks lines in the female robotic voice and has transforming moving parts. I'm glad you put moving in there, because for a second I thought I was going to say transforming lady parts. Sniper up here saying, well, I'm not a farmer. I could not have handled that. Well, the thing with farming is, as long as you keep on a halfway decent schedule, there's only 2 times where you're super busy, and that's planting season and harvest season. The thing is, planting season is usually like everything at once, and that's a big deal. However, or I should say, but when it comes to harvest season, unless you're a monoculture farm, everything comes due at different times. So it's not as bad. Me, I just have a lot of things that are going to come due around the same time. Like tomatoes and peppers will germinate around the same time. The squash and the potato, they come at the same time, along with the carrots and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Now, you got to remember, there's a big difference also between a farmer and a rancher. A rancher has to be up at dawn to make sure they get all the animals fed first thing, because the animals, if they're not fed and watered first thing, they get very restless. And you don't want to make the natives restless. That would be a bad idea. Especially if you're like running a dairy farm. That one right there, you're up every day at 3:30 in the morning to get the milking parlor up by 4 and make sure everything's running. Now, nowadays, a lot of things are automated. A lot. They have this giant turntable that the cattle go in, and they actually look forward to that. They want to get that weight off of them. So anyways, I'm looking over. Something surprised me down here, and it is SS Demon. He has returned with Wednesday the 13th. I'll be here for the live stream. All right. Awesome. Tell you what, we'll hold off on call-ins till next week then. How about that? And he's already good for a while. 3:30 a.m. I fall asleep around that time nowadays. Yeah, I used to be that way too. Not so much anymore. Just because I wake up at around 4:30 if I can get up with the alarm. Sometimes lately I reach over to get the alarm, I'll hit it, and then I'm like, why is it suddenly light against my eyes? Wait a minute, what time is it? Oh, fuck me, I just fell back to sleep. Yeah, it is what it is. But I gotta be awake, or I should say, but I gotta be awake to actually get to the gym. If I don't get to the gym first thing, I won't do it because I just don't have the time. War Sniper here saying, did you still need my help with something familiar? War Sniper, I fixed it. Okay. I used your advice and I fixed it. Okay. So don't worry too much. So yeah, it's, we're all good there. You actually you already helped out. You fixed the problem. I got that part taken care of. I'm moving on a little more with the story here. Let's see. Alan says, whenever you get a story out is our luck and we appreciate them. Yeah, well, it would be nice if I could do it every day. Is one, it's time, and two, unless I'm working on a series, I will say this, guys, burnout's a thing. Only once have I had some serious burnout where I had to take almost a week off. But that I was working 3 different friggin' series at the same, it was in a rotation. I was doing 3 series at the same time. And yeah, that was too much. Just too much. Let's see, Lena says Dominator weapon. Oh yeah, I read that one. Okay. Warsnip says, in Modern Warfare 2, the Russians invade the US, so I have to change that the species groups are surprise attacking the planet the same way, so I have to replace the Russians and replace the T-80 for a alien tank. Okay, so basically a Wraith from Halo. Got it. Which, if you know what you're doing, is devastating when you're playing in groups. Oh man, I don't know if I ever told you guys about this, and it was, I don't know if Hershey's listening. I doubt he is right now. However, you guys remember LAN parties, and LAN parties were the shit. I mean, that was the last time you actually had everybody together, hung out. You drank your beers, you had the pizza, somebody brought in McDonald's or whatever it was, and you just had a blast, and they're passing bottles of whiskey around, and you're so plastered, your avatar on screen is moving sideways. It was just fun. Anyway, we decided we wanted to, we were playing Halo 1 at the time. Yeah, I know, a long time ago, right? Anyways, and we wanted to play a certain game. So we were like, okay, let's adjust this because we can't get the computer to actually do it. And it was an attack and defend. One side was to go and collect all the vehicles and bring them all the way over to one side. The other team could go and get any weapon they wanted, any and all weapons they wanted, but the first team that had the vehicles could not touch any weapons, not until the actual match started. Well, a lot of times we have the two Scorpions and we can direct fire like crazy. The problem is, as long as they stay within their base, it's almost impossible to actually get anybody. So we're lined up. I'm in one Wraith. I don't know if it was Hershey, but somebody was in the other one, and we're on opposite sides. We're doing Blood Gulch. And yeah, I guarantee a few of you are like, oh yeah, I remember Blood Gulch. I hope so. And one of the guys there, he's standing on our base and he's zooming in because when the match started, he ran out. He got the sniper rifle or no, he's using his pistol. Sorry. And he's watching the other base. And we had a system lined up and he was an actual fister. He's the guy who calls in artillery. So he's like, okay, fire. And we both fire. And you see them go. And now, for me, it just went over the top and disappeared. And I look over on his screen and I see hits. He's like, okay, left tank, 2 right, 1 up. Right tank, 3 left, 2 up. Ready, fire. And you just see him go and go and go. And they land right on the edge of the ramps. We didn't know people were in the ramps just waiting for you to get there. And you just see bodies go, boink. And we just hear from the other, you motherfuckers, I can't believe you did that. We're just, because we had it set up, if you die once, you're done, which was kind of the point. And they came out, they're cursing, they're yelling. One guy's like, you fuckers, and then fell over because he was drunk. And it was just, yeah. I miss LAN parties, guys. They were the shit. The only thing is we couldn't get a lot of ladies to show up because honestly, after you get a whole bunch of really fit guys in there, I don't care how many windows you have open, it stinks. Anyways, Leonid says, I don't think that people are ready for the alien technology. Ready or not, it is what it is. Now, I will say, as far as technology that we should already have teleportation. However, you would not get me into one of those because I don't want somebody playing pinball with my molecules. Thank you. Because we got the USS Eldridge. They failed successfully. We know it fucking works because that was 70 years ago. Okay, I guarantee they fixed it since then. We know they have the anti-grav because they're trying to cover that up. We know they have the medical tech because I've talked to folks like, oh, yeah, we got that shit. Like, when did we have that? I don't know, 1980 something. Like, what? And that's why in the stories, guys, you hear me talking about pods a lot, the medical pods. Well, they call it the med bed, which I still think is the dumbest fucking name. I mean, it works. It's like calling a dog Spot. You're like, really? Anyways, that shit works. You know, the amount of people that I hate to say might be out of work, but you just have to change the way you do your work. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Are the younger folks not going to be able to handle technology? Oh, they're going to lose their fucking minds. It's going to be real bad. I was just listening to a thing today as I was working. It's just kind of playing in the background, you know, supposed time travelers that said what's going to happen with the technology boom comes in. They say, oh, yeah, no one's ever going to talk to each other. I mean, they don't talk to each other now. I mean, how many young kids you see just like this? That's funny. And they're texting on a phone and sending stupid videos to each other. It's ridiculous. And it's going to get so much worse. But once you have older folks like us actually being healed over, you're not going to have to worry about the lack of kids being born because no one's going to be kicking over. At least not unless they want to go without the tech, which is their choice. But yeah, as far as the different technologies, we've adapted from some crazy shit before, and we'll just adapt from there. That's all I can say. Guardians here. So someone actually made a miniature X-ray cannon. The notice. Oh, yeah, I can't say that word. I know you misspelled it for a reason. made a working prototype. Yes, they did, but it disappeared because of the Socialist Party of Germany. Officers didn't like the idea of such a weapon being on the battlefield. I'm sure they destroyed it. I'm sure it had nothing to do with Operation Paperclip. Yeah. Just, and he continues with this, and they kept the report of the successful test firing of the weapon from reaching, how do I put that? Toothbrush nose man's desk. Well, honestly, the most dangerous part of that weapon when they used it, if you find what little bit of notes are left, is it wasn't working all that well on the guys in the trenches. What it was doing was setting their ammo and their fuel on fire, because it doesn't take much. Once you start boiling gasoline, which is what the Sherman ran on, the whole thing just explodes. And if you can get their ammo to blow, I mean, it might not do anything except scare the shit out of them. Because in all honesty, if the cartridge just explodes, there's not enough ass behind the bullet to actually do much damage. You'll probably be able to reach down and go, you sons of bitch, you know, unless it goes up towards the head, then you got problems. That being said, yeah, once it was used once and everybody figured out what it was, every other country was going to figure it out. And that is horrifying because they were severely outnumbered and they couldn't do attrition that fast. It is what it is. Let's see. Erica says, except their dogs dress in spiffy black suits and had amazing PR campaigns. Oh, the Men in Black, yeah. Yeah, the little pug in a suit. I never understood dressing a dog up in clothes. The only time, to me, it makes any sense if you have a hot weather dog in a cold weather climate. Which, why would you do that? That's mean, man. That's just mean, man. It's almost total bullshit. You know what? If I won't play that one because most people don't know Terrence Popp and all his stuff on that. You guys know my thoughts about Bolshevism or Bolsheviks, yada yada. Eric is here. Says my 2024 Kawasaki Z400. The analog system works so well, no updates required. Okay, here's what I've been finding out. Okay, there is now a law on the books that says, at least here on this side of the pond, they're going to be mixing a minimum of 15% ethanol in every single gallon of gas. The problem is a lot of the older engines, anything. Well, yours is new enough, so you probably won't have to worry about it. However, anything prior to, say, I think it's 2010 or something like that, maybe 2015, is not designed to take that much ethanol. It will corrode the living dog shit out of the engine and risk it actually either just failing to work or exploding. Not explode like a giant fireball, but like blow out the cylinder wall or something. And then you're going to be forced to get one of these new cars with all this extra mumbo jumbo in it. Even if you don't want it. And I'm sorry, if a car is going to tell me to sit up straight or you're not paying enough attention, so we're going to turn your fuel off. Yeah, absolutely not. Oh, let's see. Guardian says, Bunny Brains is the name of a high-energy coffee-based drink, similar to a mocha or a cappuccino. You know, I've never been a super big, I mean, I'll drink a cappuccino, but I'm never really been a super fan of it. As far as the mochas, I got a story for you guys. You're going to love this. In the military MREs, not so much nowadays, but in the military MREs, when I first went in, you have your condiment packet that's in condiment, guys. Don't take that different. Inside that, you got like instant coffee, sugar, creamer, that sort of thing. Salt, pepper, all that. Well, in a lot of them, they used to have the cocoa powder, which was just like what it said: is you heat up water, you mix the cocoa powder in, and you have a cocoa beverage drink. Well, I don't remember the exact how many it was. Apparently, it was like 2 or 3 instant coffee packets. It was like 4 of the sugar packets, like 3 creamer, something like that, and 1 of the cocoa beverage powders. You heat it up, you stir it up real good, and it was a mocha, because mochas is just coffee with chocolate in it. Well, I'll tell you what, after I think we were out in the field for like a week and a half, after drinking nothing but water and eating maybe 1 MRE every other day, there was my squad leader, and he had made one of these, and you could smell it from a long way off. He got in trouble for lighting a fire, but regardless, we didn't give a shit. And he's like, hey, everybody, you want a sip, you can come and have a sip. Don't chug, you just sip. And even just that one little sip, I was like, oh my God, that is so good. Now, granted, my blood sugar was really low at the time, so that was a big bonus. However, you'd be surprised what you can make with an MRE. There was one, what was it? I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. Like, you make like a strawberry cheesecake with strawberry beverage, or no, cherry cheesecake, cherry beverage powder, crushed crackers, like crush them real fine, and the actual cheese spread, and you mix it all together. It looks disgusting. It looks just yuck. But you know what? It tastes pretty fucking good. And some guys came up with some really, really interesting stuff. Okay, Worst Neighbor says, I'm going to mess this up. Melvillon Creek, the tree are taking bots and oil. I don't know what. I'm at a loss on that one. Taking bots and oil. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. Demon here. Sweet. Looking forward to next week. I have good night, everybody. See you later. Guardian Sage also says, apparently Bunny Brains is also called a chocolate bunny latte. Honestly, I've never been a fan of a latte. Reason being is I don't like my coffee all that light. I like to lighten it up just a little bit, but I don't want half coffee, half milk, which is a cafe latte, which literally translates to coffee milk. But if you're looking at a chocolate latte, that sounds a lot like a mocha to me, a creamy mocha. That's about it. There's Worst Neighbor asking the question again. Did you need my help with something familiar? The wife's, the dragon, thought you'd say something like that. Yeah, no, you fixed me up right. I got you covered. I definitely got you covered. I used your idea. I used it pretty much exactly how you wrote it. You know, how you said the fix has to be, so I fixed it. Deathbed's here. Apparently he likes his drink too. Just search Bunny Brains. Bunny Brains is a themed Easter cocktail that involves pouring a mixture of 1 part marshmallow, vodka, 1 part chocolate liqueur into a hollow chocolate bunny. Wouldn't partake as straight edge, so there's that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really one for the foo-foo drinks, especially when it's so sweet. You're going to get a case of diabetes before you get drunk. At least it doesn't make sense to me. Let's see. War Sniper. Also, story idea for something familiar. The MC finds out that Shinano is highly pregnant and gives birth to a baby dragon, making the MC freak out, not expecting a baby dragon come out of a kitsune. I've already got past that part, man. It's a good idea. Oh crap! He continues, and Fernan being there in his human form or dragon, whose dragon form or human form or dragon, who's with one. Which one I want? And Fernan saying, "I told you, you would give birth before we got back," and the MC still trying to wrap his head around why a Kitsune give birth to a dragon. I've already gotten past that point, dude. It sounds hilarious. It does, but I would have to back up like 3 pages, or no, like a full page, and it takes a while to write them this way. But dude, that's funny. That is funny. It's like the like at the end of The Naked Gun, it's like a guy thinks his wife is giving birth and gives birth to a black kid, and turns out the mother that he was in the wrong delivery room. He's like, what the fuck? Yeah, that does sound funny. Let's see. Oh, he continued. I missed this part. Not knowing is because the mark sigil claim on Shinano, the mark being on her left bougem. Okay. Lena says, from my point of view, the alien technology is kind of weird. It's based on the principles people might not understand. Oh, no, they will not understand. I guarantee that they will not understand at first. They're going to have to learn it from the very ground up. And how do I know this? Is because it's the same thing with the internal combustion engine finally went out into the general public. A lot of people, they didn't understand something as simple as compression. They had no idea what that was. They had no idea about timing on the actual spark. They you're going from horse to buggy. This is a completely different technology level. So they will have to learn from the bottom up. You are 100% right there, Leonid. They are not going to understand. However, I will say this from people who have informed me about this stuff or what's coming, it's not as difficult to understand as people would think. How do I know this? Is because think how fast you picked up how to work on an internal combustion engine. Some of you guys are insanely good at that shit. I mean, holy jumping Jehoshaphat's. You guys will look at an engine from like 300 meters away and go, this is the exact type of engine. This is exactly the timing of it. This is exactly how many quarts oil it needs. This is exactly how you tune it. And you're not even there. And you're just like, like I said, you guys are really good, but all right, hold. Oh, I said the magic word. But again, it's a totally different type of technology, which people would have to learn from scratch. A lot of people who are older than me would fight it, as in, why would I need to learn this new tech? Well, you always have to learn new tech. I don't like working with, hell, I barely like this fucking thing, the cell phone. And yet I know how to operate it. And not only do I know how to operate it, I know how to run some of the more complicated programs. I had to learn. I'm not a tech wizard by any stretch, but still had to learn. Wars Never says, I want to use the mech riders of Planet Side 2. They hover above the ground. Okay. And look alien like, okay. You got me. I haven't played it, so I couldn't say shit. I think I've seen the pictures of the pyramids and the human face on Mars, but I'm not really sure if it's accurate. I remember they show it in the old movies. Okay. Are there pyramids on Mars? Yes, that is confirmed. Is there a face on Mars? They say it's pareidolia. So I don't know much about the face thing. It could have been pareidolia for all I know. However, they have confirmed there are pyramid-shaped mountains on Mars. They also found them in Antarctica, in Canada, in Alaska, in South America. And there's a lot of them, especially in South America. Holy shit. There's a shit ton over in Africa. There's a lot that are still buried in the middle of Europe and Russia. It's crazy. I mean, they are just fucking everywhere. Although there is one I'd be worried about, the one in Mount motherfucking Hayes. And apparently that one is the only one that's actually still active and can like fuck up your electronics real bad. So just remember, there's two things in your body that are electrical, your heart and your brain. That's why you lose one or the other, you're pretty much done. Erica says, concerning the 15% ethanol just gave us to the, just get us to the Star Wars and Jetsons transit. Yeah, that's my bad impression of the Jetsons flying car. But yeah, at that point, with the repulsor tech, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. It would take about maybe a decade before you saw it in major use across the world. Yet it'll get there. It will eventually. Reason being, it will be much more efficient. And not to mention, you go on one of those, say, safaris where they have all the big megafauna and shit like that. I'm sure people wouldn't mind. Oh, there's a hippo. Take us up 30 feet. See the hippo down there? Yeah, it can't jump this high. Maybe that crocodile it just ate could, but not the hippo. Oh, it passed. Oh, back down we go. And then we're going to travel across. And if you're not making a splash or anything, a lot of these creatures will leave you alone. And not to mention, think of this. I just saw, what was it, like last week or something, another bull elephant came out and almost crunched another one of these safari trucks. You could actually hear the guy who was running the safari truck. He was scared. He knew how dangerous the situation was. Thankfully, he got him out of there before they all got crunched, but still. Anyway, Lena's here saying, I think I was trying to remember the name of the sci-fi anime I watched a long time ago. I think it was Ergo Proxy. I don't know. I don't recognize the name. I do know this, though. When the robots finally come out, I shouldn't say first come out because they're already out. When they finally come out and they have a true humanoid exterior, a true human-looking, as in androids, not robots, exterior, what you're going to see a lot of, if you guys have watched Armitage the Third, which was an old, I believe, late 80s, early 90s movie. Now, they made two of them. The second one is called Dual Matrix, which was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as the first one. You're going to see a lot of people getting pissed off because their love interest, not their spouse even, but their love interest is suddenly going to be so infatuated with these fucking robots, these androids, that they're going to be like, well, when's my turn to do that? You know, some lady wondering, like, how could I possibly be as good as that robot? I mean, look at her. Look at this. Or some guy thinking, how am I supposed to compete with this android who is now 6'4", wider than a friggin' Mack truck, and when he walks, his third leg is dragging on the ground? How the hell am I supposed to compete with that shit? You know, it's gonna be messed up. And there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna go, you know what, robot, bang, you're dead. Or I should say, you're done. As it is what it is. And, you know, now I will say this on a funny note, though, I guarantee there's going to be some idiot who's going to buy a bunch of these androids and he is going to be, shall we say, sentenced
to death by Snoo.
And that's going to be the end of him. He's going to die of a broken pelvis and call it good. Let's see. Eric is saying introduce it to the public transit. Oh yeah, as far as a repulsor, yeah, sure. I got no problems with that. It's going to make people kind of feel weird, this thing elevating up, and then they don't have to worry about potholes, just kind of gliding across New York City or across San Francisco or something like that, or in the middle of, I don't know, pick a city. I will say this, there will be certain people who will see this technology and the only thing they're going to want to do is break it. Okay. And when that starts to happen, you're going to see some folks decide to take the law into their own hands and say, you know what, you just broke a public transit device that just fell down, 2 feet and risked my kid. And you're sitting there, you think it's funny. Well, motherfucker, I got some words for you, and I'm not going to be talking with my mouth. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, Warstorm says, like the Vietnam, the trees are talking Vietnamese. Okay. Lena says, sci-fi version of the battle cruiser is like high-tech Kirov's ship in space. Are you talking like Kirov reporting, like Command and Conquer, or yeah, I'm not sure I understand the reference. That's where I'm going. All right. War Sniper says, I'm confused now. I didn't mean about the fix. I talked about need more information about Ferdinand's wife. Oh, yeah, we're good. We're good, man. We're good. I did do the fix you talked about, though. Definitely. Let's see. Guardian says, yeah, the horseless carriage was strange when it first came out. Now most adults have at least one. Yep. Out of sheer necessity. Just like back in the day, you needed a horse. Everybody needed at least one horse. It was what it was. And now if somebody tried to actually tack up a horse now, they wouldn't know what the hell they're doing. It's old technology. I personally believe that everybody needs to learn from the very, very, very basics all the way up. This whole thing about starting them like 3 stages ahead, because I guarantee a lot of people would look at a transistor radio and they would open up the back and go, how the fuck does this work? I saw somebody work on it one time, so I am far from an expert. However, I will say this. If you understand how the old stuff works, it's easy to see the evolution, and understanding the newer stuff is a lot faster. That's why I was told specifically it's not as difficult as you think, because you're not really starting at 0. Lena says, there's some primitive horseless carriages in the beginning. True. Yeah. However, the engineering behind a lot of them was actually farther ahead than people give credit, because they understood that the suspension was just horrible. It was a couple of leaf springs kind of held together with a bolt. So what they did is they allowed the frame itself to flex in a way that allowed this thing to not bounce up and down real hard, bend the frame, flip over, hurt anybody. So if they're going down like the original trucks, it would actually, going down the dirt roads, it would bend just enough where you could continue to bring whatever you're going to bring, whether it be milk, beer, hay bales, whatever the hell you're going to bring. And you're not going to have to worry about shit falling out the back. And you don't have to worry so much about your own back breaking. Let's see. Brian says, hate it when my third leg drags on the ground.
Swing!
Oh, no, wait, that was the wrong button. It should have been this one. All right, Mandinga. Let's see. Lenance here saying, I believe flying disc craft considered to be like something normal in the Soviet sci-fi. It didn't feel exotic. Here's the fun part. When it comes to the disc-shaped aircraft, if you actually look into it, and particularly look at the way Dr. Greer explains it, And then you look at some of the ancient technology that was supposedly around during the time of Tartaria, put them together, and what do you got? Bibbity bobbity motherfucking boo. It suddenly makes perfect sense. All right, which is why even you'll see how it turns and everything, and how they use liquid mercury along with some other sorts of energy, using a matter-antimatter collision to actually get that son of a bitch to spin. But you got to have two so they spin in opposite directions. There's a whole bunch more to that, and without actual putting visual aids up behind me, it's even hard for me to follow it at the moment because I'm not super well versed in it. I'm versed enough to understand the science, but not well enough to explain it. Anyways, the reason for the disc shape was literally because shit's spinning inside. You can't have a square craft and spin it. It just doesn't work that way. Okay. Now, if you saw the exterior spinning, like to the top and bottom spinning in opposite directions, that's because wherever the spinning portion is locked into the exterior portion. It should be just on the bottom, but it is what it is. And I will say this, I forgot to say the but on that. Anyways, one of the kickers on that craft in particular is this. A lot of people would think, oh, this thing can move at the speed of Mach fuck it. Not just Mach fuck, but Mach fuck it. And it's like almost impossible to touch with current ordnance. So it would be able to fly in, drop ordnance, or do a gun run or something, and we wouldn't even know it's there. That is completely wrong. It's 100% wrong. Wrongo bongo. You don't get it. Even the early 1940s Central European forces, when you actually see the disc-shaped craft that they had, you'll notice it had kind of a bell shape on top with two guns sticking out, two turrets. Now, I don't know if they were fixed or they were movable, or they were both basically coax. The kicker is you actually couldn't use it. You couldn't even deploy those at that speed because there has to be, there's this strange energy bubble that goes around it. And if you break that bubble, you allow all the G-forces, all the everything to push up against the actual hull of this ship. And at that speed, you'll disintegrate. You'll literally disintegrate into nothing right there. So they would have to slow down to regular moving speed. So you still feel at that point, you're going to feel everything, all the G-forces, and then they could deploy their weapons and fire. When you do that, you are completely vulnerable. You have no countermeasures. At least that was the idea, because you can't, those things, they're great for getting you from point A to point B, but they're not warships at all. Anyways, I'm sorry. I went down the rabbit hole, guys. I'm sorry. I went down the rabbit hole on that last one. Okay. Guardian says, with regards to insectoid aliens in movies, why do they have to be so ridiculous with plot stories that do not make sense? I can't remember the name of the movie, but I remember watching one where the aliens were literally giant praying mantis, but they wanted to protect all bugs and were deathly allergic to human hair and nails. Okay, that one I haven't seen with their giant praying mantis. I've seen the Them movie where there was giant ants. The only one I can think where it wanted to protect all bugs was the Men in Black movie. Maybe they put that in there as like a hat tip to this movie you're talking about. I don't remember seeing this. Now, I will say this. If you're dealing with a species that's not even mammalian, expect weird shit, okay? If it was amphibious or aquatic, then yeah, you would have some other weird shit, not just because it's insectoid. As far as I don't understand the protect all bugs thing. Now, as far as deathly allergic to human hair and nails, maybe it's simply just allergic to the acrylic and the product someone uses on their hair and their nails. I believe we still have maybe one or two of our lovely ladies in here, and they can tell you the amount of chemicals that go into that shit is something that they probably don't even want to think about when using it. Especially back in the 80s with the big hair, which it sounds like that's when this was written. I mean, maybe they're just allergic to Aquanet. Who knows? There's Lena. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. The Kira from Command and Conquer. If they did that thing lore accurate, that thing would be pretty much unstoppable. It's just absolutely crazy. Warsniper says, when the Titan Destroyer joins the battle at Venus, when that part of the side story is reached, I do need to know which species are fighting humanity and which ones are neutral and which ones are allies. Dude, I didn't really specify the names too much. I'd have to go through the notes and figure out who's on which side, because I can't do it off the top of my head right now, because that was a couple weeks ago. So anyway, just checking here. We've been going for about 2.5 hours, and I am down one bottle completely. I have another one, but seriously, I'd like to actually sleep sometime tonight. And I don't have any extra videos here. Let me check my media assets real quick. Yeah, let's throw this one. This is kind of a long one, and it'll give me a break and let me search through a few of my things before we go through the rest of the comments.
Наша команда близка к победе. Торпеды прямо по курсу. Торпеды прямо по курсу. Наша команда получила преимущество. Наша команда близка к победе.
Yeah, on that one, it looked like until you got actually passed out by the rocks, your aft turrets weren't actually getting past the rocks. Anyway. Guardian says, in the movies, the aliens were allergic to the chemical compound that makes hair. I can't remember what it's called, but it's similar to chitin, which is the bug yeah, I know chitin is exoskeleton. That's weird. That actually should feed them, not actually kill them. Yeah, Joseph says, I think the 80 chemicals for hair and nails was sulfates. Oh, why put that on your head? Yeesh. War Sniper up here saying, I'm not doing a lot either, just playing Warpath, a mobile game on PC. Also, I'm making steps on the second episode of the side story. But I am stuck on how I can describe the FTL space transferring to real space. I usually stick with just the standard. They remind everybody, hey, buckle in, because when you exit, you're still slowing down. So the inertial dampeners and your gravity generators and everything is basically fighting to try and slow everything down without you ending up splatting on the front. But yeah, I wouldn't go too deep into that. I shouldn't. That's not the way to say it. You know how I said before, less is more sometimes? Well, here you go. Don't overdo it. Be descriptive if you want. By all means, be descriptive. The more you can put in there, the easier it is on my end. But just make sure you get everything right. Anyways, this thing is digging into my freaking head. I don't know how these guys actually do this for so long. Anyway, God damn it. Sorry, dropped my pen. We got a $5 super chat from the Guardian Sage. And where's your button? Oh, yeah, it's right here.
May the Schwartz be with you.
And he says, for the syntax, for the Guardian Order, and for the balance. Thank you very much. That's going to help my balance just a little bit more. And I'm just going to let this go just a little bit more. Let me throw one more video up, and then we'll see where we are for the night. Let's see. No, I already put that on already. God damn it. What about this one?
Continuing assault.
Пожарная тревога.
Target destroyed.
Крейсер противника уничтожен.
Okay, that's the one I was talking about before with the full broadside at point blank. All right, we got Guardian up here, or sorry, War Sniper up here says, yeah, I don't know how I can do it right now without getting stuck on it and needing a long time thinking until continuing to type the story further. Take all the time you need, man. Don't worry too much about it. Guardian here says, yes, I couldn't think of the word, was having a brain fart. Yep. Been there, done that plenty of times, man. Plenty of times. Sometimes it just gets, I'll tell you what, it does get frustrating, and you're sitting there writing, and all of a sudden you had the word in your head, and all of a sudden it fell out, and you get to where you're going to write it, and you're like, what the hell was that? Oh, son of a bitch. Sniper says, that was a Citadel. I did it on a Cleveland class cruiser, Sin. In the video, the first time I fired, that would have happened to me in the other video. Okay. Yeah, I don't. I wonder if you guys did check out the whole. It's not on World of Warships. It is War Thunder, where they actually had the bombers. The B-52 bombers was an option, and apparently some guys are just pissing everybody off because they're getting really, really good at using those things. And apparently there's a new hack in War Thunder where you get the Harrier and you like go right over their spawn point, and then the anti-air guys can't elevate their weapons high enough to get you. Supposedly that works. I obviously haven't tested it. But hey, let's see. War Sniper said, he would have taken a Citadel shot if he showed his back, if his aft turrets. Hey, you do the way it works for you. Obviously, I'm not an expert because I don't play the game. The only thing is, I would never get that close unless I was actually in a destroyer or a frigate, something I had to get close. I would rather strike at the very edge of my effective range. I just don't want to get close. It ain't worth it. Joseph says, I switched words after my stroke. That was rough as a writer. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Anyway, gentlemen, again, we've been going on for about 2.5 hours. Now I'm watching the view count slowly drop over the past 20 minutes. So on that note, well, you wouldn't get me on a Yamato, man. You get me on an Iowa class, but you'll never get me on a Japanese ship. I'm biased. I'll admit it. All right. First things first, guys. Make sure that you are still subscribed. I know YouTube's having some problems lately. A lot of people are going to Rumble because they're shadow banning a lot of people. Like I said, Terrence Pott was one of them. They kick him out within the first like 2 or 3 minutes. It's sick. So yeah, put me in a Montana or something. Okay. The Mighty Mo, or no, that was a Missouri, not Montana. Anyways, folks, really quick, we're going to just go over the safety brief. You know, if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, what do? That's right, you kick his ass. Quite literally if you have to. By the way, a swift kick to the nuts is going to put any drunk guy on the ground, most likely vomiting. And I'd rather clean up that mess than clean up the mess that he's going to make of himself when he goes off the road. So, also make sure if your little soldier is going in the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet in the bush as long as you know what you're doing. And, make sure you guys also be careful driving. Just this morning, I saw somebody, he had nailed a very large raccoon and damn near slid off the road because of it. So, again, be careful. If you see one critter, there's most likely a second. Just slow down a little bit. You don't have to slam on your brakes. Just be aware. You never know. Because the last thing we need is you guys getting all fucked up and not being here next week. Right here. Same Syntax time, same Syntax channel. And we will see you then. And until then, take care. This is your host, Syntax. And I'm punching out.